listening to the Invest Podcast. I'm your host, the one and only, never duplicated Johny Invest. Please smack that subscribe button. Subscribe to Invest Universal. Be notified every time we drop dope, banging content. Hey, yo, man, I'm going to run something different this time, man. I'm here with my dudes, in here with my guys. We did Girl Talk a little while ago. Let the homegirls have a platform, just run it up and talk about all things related to women, business, and life. So I got my guys here this time, man. We're going to talk about life, relationships, business, situations, the things that experience has brought us. At this roundtable, man, I got my man, Rico, a.k.a. Medusa 916. I got my boy Shamir, recording artist, entrepreneur, business owner, also better known as Legacy. My boys, my guys, Guy Talk. Thanks for coming in, chatting with your boy Johny Invest, man. Welcome to Guy Talk. We about to kick it. We're gonna run it up, man. We're gonna do this for about 40 minutes, man. We're gonna get into this. We're gonna start it off, man, just talking about introducing yourself a little bit. All y'all know me. I'm Johny Invest. My man Rico 916. Man, introduce yourself, man. And it was kind of funny how we met, man. Yes, you want to go off that story a little bit of what actually brought us together, man?
Yeah, it's my name is Rico. Everybody knows me as either Rico or Medusa, depending on the car scene. Because I was telling your kids, I actually drive. I drive my work van around West Sac. And the first time I seen your car, I was like, hey, man, I need a picture of this. So I remember taking a picture from afar, but then I seen something on the window.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, this probably was Instagram. So I got off and literally, I parked all crazy and I got off, took a picture of it. I remember tagging you on it.
Yeah.
And then we linked up through that.
Yeah.
And I saw your page and I was like, wait a minute, well, this is not just a regular car page. This guy's into something different. You know what I mean? So then I believe it was at that time, it was either Mondays, I believe, something around those days.
Yeah, I was working out there for a minute.
Yeah, so then we started linking up, and then I was like, well, he's into the gym too. At that time, I was heavy on the gym, as you've seen that.
Yeah.
And then started tagging you in pictures. I started following your content. I said, man, this guy's up to something.
Yeah.
So yeah, but definitely, man, I appreciate the invite, man, for sure.
For sure, man, for sure. My man, Shamir, Legacy, man, you do a lot of different things, man. Entrepreneur, businessman, father, husband, recording artist, man. Talk a little bit about yourself, what you've been up to, what's going on, man. I ain't seen you in a minute. I mean, you pulled up a minute ago, man. I had a boot camp, man. I know he's pulling up things, got the car like, boom, I'm here. I said, what's up, what? And you was in the house, man. I like your energy, man, your fire, and your passion, man, everything you own. So it's only right that I better get you up in here, and we would definitely run this one up, man.
I mean, first off, they call me the pull-up king because I'm going to pull up on you.
Yeah.
My pull-out game is weak. That's why I got 3 daughters. It's on point, you know what I mean? But, no, you know what I mean? I had to take a whole year off, bro. My name is Legacy 2 Eyes. For the people that don't know, I'm from right here, Sacramento, California. I graduated. Number six. That part, you know what I mean? I graduated from Roseville High School, 2006. I played ball at the Thomas High School. Shout out to my cousin Sid Thompson, Shaq Thompson, Marlon Moore. You know what I mean?
Man.
My brother Trace the Goat got his own Impound comic store. Got a movie coming out. My little brother FaZe.
Yeah.
Shout out to my big homie Sam Quinn, who just invited me to open up for him at the end of this month. You know what I mean?
All right.
I'm the minister, homie, out there in LA, money bag rolls out there.
Yeah.
And let's go on, you know what I mean? But like I said, last year, bro, no cap, and I'm glad that I got to sit down with, you know what I mean, some intelligent, enlightened, you know what I mean, insightful men, and give y'all my story, basically, what happened last year. But I was depressed last year. Mental health is real.
Yes. That's something that we actually going to talk about on the podcast right now. So it's only fitting. That's actually one of the things that we're going to be impacting.
Yeah.
So first, what we're going to pitch on first is each one's going to have a shot. I'm going to talk a little bit about what experiences brought me, about what are some things I didn't realize before that now I'm 40, things I know now. Maybe I didn't know 10 to 15 years ago that I wish I knew them, but I learned them later on in life. Because life ain't about getting everything right. It's trials, tribulations, it's a learning experience, I don't look at if a job fails or relationship fails. I don't look at it necessarily as a wasted time because all those types of situations, I learned things from those things. So For me, one thing I've learned and I've realized over time, it's really difficult to change certain individuals that's stuck in their ways.
Yes.
And I used to spend a lot of time trying to get people to see things my way.
Yes.
Man, you don't understand. Man, you don't even know. Or my lady at the time. Man, if you don't understand this, if you just gassing out, getting tired, run down. And now I realize I still will pour into people, but I have more of a stop point now.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Check this out. I seen there was a quote, and he's my hero next to Malcolm X and my idol, and that's who I kind of like. The path that I'm on, everything that I do is basically to continue the legacy of Nipsey. A lot of people don't understand this. Like, I named my name Legacy for two reasons. My brother, Street Knowledge, rest in peace, I'll miss you forever. The protege, the jacket, you know what I mean? His legacy, along with Nipsey Hussle's legacy with the miracle. And that's why my dealership, I named it Victory Auto Center. You know what I'm saying? And so I say that to say this. He said, not everybody's going to see the vision. Right? You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So not everybody's going to see the vision. There's going to be a select few that do. Those are the ones that you keep close. Everybody else, they're going to be the ones, once you're on TV, you do what you want to, and now you can really put them in a position that they never thought they could have to change their life. Now they want to, I always believed in you. Like, I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah.
You was always something special. And it's like, at the end of the day, a lot of people get upset with that. They say that's hating, but I'm like, you know what that is? Really, it's just God opening people's eyes up. See, at first, they had shaitan in their heart. So they was blinded.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's why they couldn't see the vision. God didn't want them to see that vision. Okay. It wasn't because they couldn't see it. They weren't allowed to see it. It was only meant for a certain few to see that vision. You see what I'm saying? So that way you can achieve your destiny and what he's got planned for you. Everybody else has their own destiny. This is your destiny and whoever else is in that circle. And once you guys get to where you need to get to without the distraction, now we'll take that veil off. They can see, now they can support you and push your movement, and now you have your receipts for why they need to follow you and push your movement.
Wow. Yeah. I think that for me, I think we shared this a couple of times, is I went through, a very messy divorce.
Yeah, talk about that.
And but in the mindset of being in being a father, you kind of think that you're making the right decisions in certain things, taking the high road, right? So, but I think that I quickly learned that no matter how hard you work, no matter how you try to provide the perfect reasoning to certain things or decisions you make in life, people will definitely question that regardless. So I think my perspective has always been go to where you're celebrated, not where you're tolerated.
Yeah.
So that's something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I started listening to Eric Thomas and Inky Johnson a lot, and to me it was like, you know what, dude, like I consistently would beat myself to where my mistakes were like my enemies. So instead of picking myself up and saying, okay, you know what, you beat that, I was consistently stuck there. Yeah. And that's what would like drag me down. Yeah. So for a while, I was depressed. I mean, even now, right? Even to this day, sometimes I find it really hard to find the motivation to go to the gym. Yeah. Because there's just so much around me. Yeah. Right. So it's one of the biggest things to me is I've always been of the mindset of if my kids are well off, then I'm okay. That's it. Right. But sometimes you just lose relationships and you lose contact with certain people due to whatever you were going through, and it kind of holds you down. Yeah. Right. So, but in the same mindset, you surround yourself with people that have the same mindset as you, the same goals, or different people that are striving to be something better than you were a few years ago. When that, those are the people you want to surround yourself with. And as of late, that's why everything you send me, I watch. Like everything you send me, I watch. And even the one with your daughter, I put it in my big TV. I was sitting there just watching the whole thing. So, So, but yeah.
Yeah, man. For me, another thing is just I try to only be around situations that give me a level of peace. Around certain situations, certain types of people, and it's just stress, it's like negative. I've gotten to my age where I feel like I don't have time, and I can't really afford that. I feel like my what do you call that? My drama bank is empty. There's like no more drama bank in the bank. I went through that in my 20s, and a little bit of my 30s, and now, you know, at 40, and I got my late 30s, I said, man, I've got no more money in the bank for no drama with anybody, whether that be,
you don't have
traumatic friends, got some friends this year I had to, cut off because it was just, like, one thing I know I've learned about people is before I would say, well, bruh, that sounds kind of funny. Oh, man, it's you tripping, man, you know how it is, man, whatever, I'm just playing. One thing I learned now is usually when somebody says something or a certain kind of way toward you, you feel it, whether that's from a friend or family member, a spouse or something.
It strikes a nerve, right?
Most of the time, it's really what it is.
It's what they're thinking.
So I've been able to really, realize that and just realize that I got no more money in the bank for any more drama, and I want to just be at peace. Because I notice for me, when I'm in positive, when I'm in peace, man, I'm in a better mood to be able to create, learn more, grow more. I can just do a lot more, man. That's just kind of.
It's like a more different perspective.
Yeah.
Right. It's like a perspective. For instance, right now he said something about, and he was on the phone, and I was kind of just, it caught, and he said, if it's with his family, right? It's like the way he communicates with his friends is a family thing.
Yeah.
And if I spoke over you, it's you don't hear that anymore. When people cut you off, you don't hear that anymore. When you're expressing something, even in an argument, in a relationship, people are quick to cut you off. And I like what he said. The way he said it was, if somebody was trying to show you something, I spoke over my apologies. That's something that, especially around men, you don't hear that often.
Yeah. So
I really like how he had, but it caught me because I was like, that's pretty cool, man. I was like, because he was having a grand old time outside, and I was like, pretty cool.
So, I mean, the thing is, bro, I think, and this is what I'm trying to teach the youth is, I can't fault our OGs because they didn't know no better. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We know better. We know better. We're educated. I have 2 phones right here. I can Google anything at any point in time. You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, like, we've learned and we've elevated to realize, like, just because I tell you I love you, I'm proud of you, I'm a fan of you, that's not a bad thing.
Exactly.
Why does that have to be a bad thing?
It's acknowledgement.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you'll go say that to Drake or Jay-Z,
Yeah.
What are they doing for your community?
Exactly.
Nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But you won't tell me you're a fan of me, you love me, you proud of me, I inspire you. When I'm out here every day walking up and down the streets, I ordered an Uber for a man today who was homeless, who had his toes amputated just so he can get to the park. But you won't follow me and support me, but you'll go buy all A merch, you'll go buy all Louis Vuitton.
To someone that don't know you.
Yeah.
To someone that has
you're probably never gonna meet.
And that's why I got into the car business, because I'm like, it's easy for me to get a clothing brand. You know what I mean? Tap into that market. It's easy for me to do the music. You know what I mean? I was supposed to go to the NBA until I tore my Achilles tendon. You see what I'm saying? So I got into the car market because I want to show the youth, look, that's why I wear so many hats. Yeah. If I can do it, you can do it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a 2-time felon. You feel what I'm talking about? A lot of people don't know that about me. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You would never grasp that for me.
Right.
I grew up in the Strawberry Manors 269 Fairbanks Ave. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
my brothers are from Oakland, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I got people from Compton. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of them, you know, I'm a real 80s baby. But at the same time, I went to jail. And I did like my brother doing right now. Man, free my brother. I can't wait till he come home. My brother Pookie, man, he faced a 16, but he cut his time down. Why? Because he went in there, he got a degree. 100 through 100, he started his own merch behind them walls. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's all about how you look at life.
Yeah.
Right.
You can look at life like I got locked down, you feel what I'm saying? You stripped me from everything.
Yeah.
Or you can look at it like, hey, they sat me down so I can develop and learn everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Malcolm X went got locked down, look how he came out.
Yes.
Red was gone when he went to prison.
Big facts.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
For me, I think it was.
Big facts.
I think that the biggest thing I get from the thing that you do is you're consistent involved in everything that a lot of people have a lot of insecurities about asking questions about how to do this, doing that.
Yeah.
Right now, when we just met, he was telling me about, well, I got this opportunity just in case you know anybody.
Yeah.
You don't hear that a lot.
Yeah.
You don't hear that from people in reality. For me, I think that the reason why I really started following you is just, you're kind of like me in the sense, I like to be in everything. Because growing up as a kid, I wasn't the best soccer player out of my friends. But then I started coaching kids. When the PAL League was, around the Police Athletic League, I was coaching for them all the way until I was 18, 19. I coached kids at the Washington Everett Center in basketball. I'll play basketball with them most of the time. So I'm always involved in getting kids
I love it.
something, right? So now
we need to talk.
So now, check this out. So,
Hey man, one thing I love about this podcast, man, is that I bring people together.
Yeah.
Had some
You cross paths.
some women on here. Shout out my girl Shalene, Hydration Love. I brought her and my girl Erica together with shout out Good Vibes Yoga. And they was able to really link up. Now they working together. They collaborated. And now Shalene does some stuff at the Yoga Studio and vice versa, man.
Yeah.
So I like just being able to bring like-minded people together because I know it's going to be a beautiful thing.
So the thing too, it's I think it's beautiful to see people that connect with one another, right? And then you kind of see, well, maybe we can feed off one another.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing, but I think you don't see that often. No. If it's not like on social media or taking pictures, it's not naturally.
Because we was classically conditioned to believe that that's soft.
Exactly.
You're weak.
Exactly.
You're a punk.
Yeah.
Or you don't have the connections.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like with these lives and stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, I had to explain to the mother of my children, like, she's like, there's only 2 people on this life. I'm like, it's not about that. It's not about who's watching right now. It's about who's going to see it in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's the key. Like, it's a marathon. It ain't no sprint.
Right.
That was so deep when he said that. A lot of people, they went over their head. They was like, oh, yeah, marathon, you keep running. No. A marathon means that the process is never finished.
Right.
Even when you've achieved what you was trying to reach, there's still more work to do.
I was telling my kids all the time. When my kids show me something, I always tell my boys, I say, it looks good. But the one thing that my dad always taught me was, it could be better.
Right.
That part.
And sometimes my kids get offended to that. But the reality behind that is, it could be better. Just imagine.
Come on, bro. My dad's a military man. You know what I used to hear all the time? I don't care how good you are in basketball. I don't care how good you are. There's always somebody better.
Yeah, it's always.
You out there shooting 50 jump shots, there's somebody out there shooting 1,000. So what are you going to do?
Yeah. I ran into an old friend last night. My boy Caesar. And I've known him since I was, I want to say 10 years old.
Yeah.
And here I am, my 40s, and we were talking about, a couple of our friends are going through it, relationship-wise, and it just hit me, man. I was like, bro, we come from an era, because I seen his kids drive by, and I was like, his kids are all grown, they're all going to college now, they're in high school, and I'm like, bro, I remember living next to you, your kids were this little, but this man still looks the same, right? My friend does. And he said, you know what's funny? He said, remember how we grew up? I said, yeah, bro, we couldn't cry.
Talk about it.
That's the next topic in a minute anyway.
Bro, keep this.
It's organic.
And it made me laugh because he said, hey, he said, we couldn't cry.
No way.
We couldn't complain. Right? Get out there and do it.
Come on now, our favorite movie was what?
Mine.
My favorite movie, Remember the Titans. Water make you weak. Water for washing the blood off my jersey. Yeah. And you don't get no blood off my jersey.
My mom used to tell me, why are you crying? What are you crying? Why are you crying?
Yeah.
So with my mom was a single mother for a while. Right? And my dad was away for a while, and my mom put 6 of us in a routine, bro. The lady would come home and clean, cook, dinner, breakfast, and she would do 3 jobs. 3 jobs. And now all of my sisters have a degree, bro. All of my sisters have a degree. My sister just, she's shout out to my sister Naila. She just graduated nursing school. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing to see.
You just posted that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a beautiful thing to see. But I look back, bro, and I was telling my boy Caesar, I was like, bro, remember those days? You couldn't complain.
No.
Like, you couldn't talk back. Now these kids are living it up, brother. His kids are going to college. Yeah. And I'm like, we went through the struggle. Yeah. So they can live a little bit better life.
How many times have I seen on the comedy skit where they say, hey, I'm not racist. I got family members that's all, white. Yeah. But they like, I went to my white friend's house. I'm like, your mom. Like, I got my whole grilled up. I a grown man, but if I do that still to this day, I'm going to have to get it redone again. You know what I'm saying?
The way I think that fortunately, it played out very well for my brothers and sisters. My mom didn't know nothing better than just to work. Yeah. She provided. And for me, I think I got stuck in the situation through the divorce that I felt like I wasn't doing enough. Right? But then I got hit with the truth one day. One of my friends came up to me and said, are your bills paid? I said, yeah. Did you feed your kids? Of course. Do they have clothes on their back? I said, yeah. A roof over their head? I said, yeah. He goes, what are you crying for? You did your deed. You show them you love them. I said, all the time. You guide them through tough times all the time. And what hit me was, I was like, you know what? Then what am I beating myself for?
Well, somebody told me this because, I love helping the homeless.
Yeah.
Like, my wife thinks I'm psychotic and crazy because I will pick up a dope fiend or a homeless and give him a ride. I'm not scared. I can defend my goddamn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She's like, you gotta be careful. I'm like, I'm okay. God got me. I can secure myself. But I say that to say like, humanity is dying.
There's no acknowledgement for people around you.
Sure.
Humanity.
People get scared.
Dying.
People get scared.
And my dad's a military man, so when we grew up, you know what I mean? It was respect, responsibility, accountability. Humanity is dying. Like nobody shows no love, no
Probably
concern
worse
for
thing
nobody.
was COVID. COVID made it probably worse. It's already going there.
Everybody.
COVID probably intensified even more.
Are you sure you're talking about that? Because I got something deep to tell you about that one. I don't know if you want to disclose
No.
that.
Deep boy.
I think the
There's
crazy,
some patents out there. I'm trying to tell you this was all planned. There's some patents out there. But we talk about
the
it.
crazy thing is that with my girl and my daughters, they always
brother
know
right there.
that I always acknowledge people around me. People walking down the street, people in another car, people in look, whatever kind of car they're in.
Yeah.
They look over, they look at my car, and I give them a hi,
That's always dope.
And acknowledgement of people, bro, it goes along with it. Because you never know what kind of demons or situation someone's walking with. Right? I went into the into a 7-Eleven for lunch one day in Woodland.
Okay.
And this lady was just sitting out in the back, she was sitting by the door, just kind of looking inside. And I asked her, is there something that would you like to get something to eat?
Yeah.
And the look on her face, bro. She said, well, it's not necessarily for me. She said, it's for my son. I took him inside, bro, and I bought him lunch. It was the last $15 I had on cash because I left my debit card.
Yeah.
But I bought her lunch. I went to my transit, bro, and I felt so good
That's humanity, man.
because
Make you feel warm.
I asked her how long you been waiting. She said for 40 minutes. And it makes you really think.
What?
It makes you really think how if you ever ask yourself, how often do I look around my surroundings? Do I really know what's really going on around me, right? Everybody's so focused on their thing, and it's understandable.
Yeah.
But I think that humanity itself, bro, the kindness to others is going downhill. Because everything evolves in whether you look the part,
Yeah.
don't look the part,
Right.
you look kind of scary, right?
Yeah.
And first thing I came in, I shook his hand. It's the first thing I always do anywhere I'm at, bro. Like whether I'm at the gym, at the store, how you doing, And my girls always tell me like, you can spark a conversation with anyone. I said, want to know why? I said, because I'd rather acknowledge people. I ran into one of my guys in one of the buildings that I work at, and I always go in to change that same light in his office, and I hadn't seen him in weeks. I was like, well, they got it fixed, right? So I go to the Starbucks, bro. I open the door and he walks in. He's like, good morning. The dude paid for my Starbucks.
Yeah.
Without even saying anything, he said, hey, thank you. Those are the kind of things that I think that we're missing. And it's like I said, you never know what people are working with. You don't know if someone's suffering from anxiety,
Right.
if they're
Brace
lacking.
yourself, you ready?
Yeah.
Because I'm about to blow your mind. This is why people walk up to you and gravitate to you. People seem to forget we are in the flesh. There's a spiritual battle going on way bigger than us on a daily basis. Some of us is angels, some of us is demons walking through.
Okay.
You have the heart of an angel, so people gravitate towards you. It don't take much.
Yeah.
When you walked in, I felt your spirit.
Yeah.
That's why I include you in my lives. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I
yeah.
just include anybody in my life. I push it for me because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I don't even know you from a can of paint. You know, whatever you got going on, somebody out there needs to meet you. You see what I'm saying? Somebody else needs to gravitate to you on my platform because you are a light in this darkness of this world. You feel what I'm saying? Just like with my brother here. A lot of people don't know. The reason why I will always show up, I busted my ass trying to race back from LA to get here to this interview.
Right.
It had nothing to do with no dollars or nothing like that. If I get paid to do this,
He's
this is my brother. My first interview ever was because of this man right here.
He's right. He
Yeah.
his best.
I like that. Yeah.
That's loyalty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how it's supposed to be though.
But I think that we connected very well, especially when because of the merch. I saw the logo on the jacket. I was like, dude, that's the one.
Yeah.
And I saw the hat, bro. I was like, bro, feed me, bro. Like, let me rep this. Let me rep that.
Yeah,
And
dude, down New York repping me. Oh my gosh.
remember, I took it.
Yankee game, man.
Bro,
All out
we
the
were-
place,
I had
man.
people trying to steal my shirt. Yeah, all these
Bro.
like, let me get that. Eventually, I'm like, yeah, Yeah, do that. Go get your own.
Yeah.
We were packing for New York, and my girl, Jess, man, she was like, hey, you got everything? I was like, hey, is my jacket in there? She was like, what jacket? Like, my best jacket.
Yes.
We have a black one, we have the red one, so
Yeah.
between my girls, like, they always wear it, bro.
See your daughter or stepdaughter, somebody rocking it too. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
man,
you
the whole
see it?
family repping out
Yeah.
there, man. I was like, yeah. Okay.
Everywhere.
Okay. What's that look for?
So this is what I gotta do. I gotta pull up in the heat, just get a shirt. On. I
Dave, my boy, man,
pull up
I
in boot camp.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm in the house depressed. You know what I mean? I'm outside.
Hey, we linked. I got you. Hey, I got my boy, man. So that's the next like kind of conversation we're gonna get into a little bit about that. Cause like we talked a little bit about like when we was young.
Mm-hmm.
I think we grew up. I think we're all '80s babies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raised, born in the '80s, and grew up in the '90s. So you know, a lot of the things that we had when we were kids, in mindsets we got as far as like how a man shouldn't show certain things, a man just deals with stuff, he's stuck inside.
Yes.
I think some of us, I know me, I carried that through my adulthood, you know, through my teens, through my 20s, even through a certain part of my 30s, because, you know, we was taught that, you know, you don't complain, you don't cry, you don't be sad, because, you know, that's only for your sister. The daughters could do that. You know, I know me. You know, I'm sad. I want to, you know, my stepdad was gonna get, you know, I was whooped on. So a lot of times I would just have to hold and carry a lot of stuff in. And what I noticed is I was starting to carry a lot of that stuff through life. I just wasn't getting anything out. I didn't have an outlet because I was always told that you kind of suck it in, do what you got to do,
Get over
best
it.
foot forward, just be a man.
Get over it.
Just get over it.
Deal with it.
And just deal with it.
Put it in your past.
I'll be at a point in my life where I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I don't really like what I'm doing in my career, in my life. I'm not really enjoying this. And people will say, well, you got benefits, right? Got a pretty good paycheck, right? What you complaining about?
Exactly.
But I was like, I guess I'm unhappy.
It doesn't feel right.
They would say, you know, life ain't really got nothing to do with being happy. I'm like, man, what I remember from the Constitution, this country was built on, like, I mean, was that some real stuff or is that some BS? Because I'm thinking about part of that, like I'm trying to pursue some type of happiness, and you know, I don't know how many years I got here.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you can retire when you're 65, and then you can do whatever you want. But I'm like, I'm old at that time, and maybe not able to.
What can you really do?
And how much value, and how much am I going to be able to do at 65 versus actually doing the stuff that I want to do right now? But anyway, I found ways over time to kind of break out of that, and I think certain people that were in my life, I may have rubbed them wrong. You know, some of them are not in my life anymore, but I can say that now I'm at more peace now than I was 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years ago, because part of invested peril and is invested in yourself, your betterment, your mindset, your happiness, the way you feel. So I felt like if I'm in a situation that bring me just a lot of depression, a lot of unhappiness, am I really, truly living the life of the true Johny Invest?
Yeah.
Am I really living that? I'm telling you to invest in yourself,
Yeah.
but I'm sitting there kind of, I don't know, living a lie, but I'm kind of like a hypocrite. I'm telling you to go out there and chase your goals and your dreams, and I'm not.
But you know what? With that being said, I think it was. I got to tell you, bro. Like you inspired me in a situation where I was always afraid of traveling, man.
Yeah.
Because the first thing that comes to mind is how expensive is it going to be?
Yeah.
Can I afford it?
Oh yeah, I went to New York first. I was like,
Remember?
man, it wasn't even that bad.
Dude, so I hit him up. I seen him in New York, bro, and the first thing that came to mind was, if he can go, bro, like, I can definitely go.
Yeah.
Right? So then I talked to Jess, and it was right after COVID, right?
And you went right after with me, and you discussed it, man. You met up with me, got some merch, and I was like, hey, you should do it. You know, you should book now. Now's the time to go. You ended up going like a month
or two later. The way he said it was, bro, you gotta go. And then Jessica was like, who are you talking to? I was like, you don't understand. Johny is in New York in the damn subway right now, yo. And she was like, no. And I showed her the picture, and my boy standing there like, you know what I mean? Like, he was like,
Subway's kind of crazy out there.
And then so that inspired me, bro. I was like, I need to put all my fears aside. If it's going to be expensive, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah.
Save the money, calculate, make your plans. Bro, the moment we landed, I could not believe what, bro, I had my sweatshirt on.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? It's time to invest back into myself.
Yes.
I spent too much time, bro, like being in that mindset of giving to others first and never taking back in.
Yeah.
So I was literally giving my attention to people that were not giving nothing back. And what really sucked is my girl told me that day. She's like, we should go. Bro, we went. Kid you not, bro. I'm a big Yankee fan.
You went to Yankee Stadium.
Huge since a kid, bro. I had never missed a Yankees and A series in Oakland for years up until the whole thing happened with my divorce and everything. So I stopped giving into what made me happy, right? When I was working in the restaurant business, kind of like you were saying, 60, 70-hour weeks.
Yeah.
6 days straight,
Yeah.
sometimes 7 days a week.
Oh, yeah, I know about it.
13 days straight, bro. And
Yeah.
to come home to the same thing.
Yeah.
They're not happy at home.
Right.
You're always gone. What about the kids?
Yeah.
Well, I got to work.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that as men, bro, we got to invest in ourselves.
For sure.
I've seen guys that have been married for 16, 20 years, bro, and then at the end of the day, it's done. Why? Because you were never home. It wasn't enough. And I think when I talked to you that day, I told Jess, you know what? I think it's time. Johnny, I had the biggest smile. The moment I walked through the gates at Yankee Stadium, bro, I did not stop smiling,
That's
bro.
like, I told you, I didn't know you was a Yankee fan. And then when I found you was a Yankee fan, I'm like, man, you really got to take that.
Jessica was telling me, she was like, your cheeks.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I think they're permanently stuck right now.
See you out there, man.
And the only thing I kept telling myself, well, I'm invested in myself.
Sure.
This is my happiness. I finally got check something off the list.
Yeah.
Second thing was taking my daughters.
Yeah, you went there again.
Yeah,
man. He went there again.
Bro, if you were to ask me how many trips I went to that I wanted to go to while happily married, it wasn't something off my checklist. It was never off my bucket list, right? So it's now, bro, I can tell you right now that I'm no angel.
Yeah.
I've made my mistakes. I've had my indiscretions. I've had my situations where nobody wants to be around me.
Right.
I was literally the person that nobody wanted to talk to. My kids even nowadays. Right now, we don't have the closest communication like we used to, and that was depressing. And up until Jessica just kind of talked to me and said, you know what, you're a good father.
Yeah.
You take my daughters in like yours.
Yeah.
My daughters look up to you. My mom loves you.
Yeah.
Your mom loves you. Your sisters love you. And I just sat back and I said, you know what, dude? What am I really depressed about?
Right. Now definitely in hindsight.
I give them the advice that they need.
Yeah.
I try to show them the way. You don't want to end up like me working 60, 70-hour weeks.
Right.
Go to school, man.
Yeah, skills.
Go do something.
Yeah.
I tell my oldest, talented kid, bro. He can sling a baseball.
Okay.
Like no other business.
Okay.
That didn't pan out.
Yeah.
The second of my kids, he's into cars, man. Every time he comes, now I'm more available to where it's like, before I was too shut down.
Yeah.
Too tired.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about it right now.
Yeah.
But when he calls me, texts me all the time. Hey, have you awake? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, can you do this rhino liner with me in my truck? It's a beat up S10, dude. And I'm like, hey, dude, this is your pride and joy. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So you saw me there like that day.
Yeah.
Bro, it's barely going away. And it was like almost.
It made him happy, man.
So
probably son buying moment, man.
So those are the things I think that made me a better person. And I tell my kids all the time, and I tell my son Isaiah all the time. There will be a moment where you will ask yourself, am I allowed to cry?
Yeah.
You're damn right.
Sure, ask yourself that.
You can't.
It'd be hard for me to cry. I used to never cry.
Bro, I'm telling you, my mom would just kind of give me that look, like, I dare you. Go ahead.
Sometimes after you do, though, it's like you still dealing with it, but you're getting that off your chest, though. In that moment, you feel a little bit better, huh?
I think Johnny, everything that I've been through the last, I want to say 3 to 4 years now.
Yeah.
Nothing hurts the most that to see the people that claim they love you step away from you from certain decisions you make in life. But then you realize, like he said, you'll realize who really is behind you.
I can attest to that myself, 100%.
You know, and sometimes you got to make the right decisions to cut the wrong people,
Tough ones.
and it's tough decisions. But at the end of the day, you know what it is you sleep better, you live better, and you love better.
Yeah, I can
Right.
attest to that. I'm gonna give my man legacy to Mike in a minute. But one thing I can say to me that the situation that I had to walk away from is crazy because when I look back at the different situations I went through over the past probably 5 years, and some of them were like at the time I was in the moment, it was hard because it's hard right in the moment because it's fresh. Like I just walked away from this situation, that situation. You're like, oh, I walked back. It's so close. You haven't walked that far away from it. But every single one, whether it be my professional career, whether it be personal relationships and things like that, I don't regret any of them. I'm like, wow, I'm that much more better now.
You feel better.
I feel better.
Yes.
I'm like, wow. But at the time, but I had to make those decisions for the better for me.
Yeah.
So when I passed it on to my boy, Legacy, man, and talk a little bit about what you was going through the last year, man, how you kind of broke out. I didn't see you for about a year, man. You weren't really around. I didn't see no content. I was like, where my guy at? Because you before, man, you was like in the face, man. You was like everywhere, man. Like texting, hit me up on IG and everything. And I was like, man, where's so my dude? I mean, I had a feeling he would resurface at some point in time. But I figured, like I said, mate, maybe he's grinding, he's going through some stuff. I know when he gets back, he's gonna reach out. So I mean, what was going on and what really helped to kind of bring you back. I mean, you were so like full of life. Like every time I talk to you, every time I see you, I know you would kind of have some things go. I don't know if things just piled up on you and all at one time, and we all go through it.
It was so my whole music career, my life story is crazy. Like I said, everybody knows me from playing basketball. I was supposed to go to the NBA. I was trying to go overseas. I was training with my cousin Marlon Moore to play for the Dolphins and the Niners. You know what I'm saying? He was getting ready to go play ball overseas, and I took my kids to Disneyland, trying to be a good father. And came back next morning thinking I'm still 18, 19, going to go hoop, try to go for a putback dunk, bro, and blacked out. Woke up on the floor and tried to walk. I felt like I was walking in water, and the ref was like, "That's your Achilles. That's that Kobe Bryant injury. It's a wrap."
You felt that snap.
Yeah, so
man.
I was kind of like messed up at the time because I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, when your dream is shattered, you're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't even make it. I'm not even paid for this shit. But
And here
and
it
got snatched from me. So, but at the end of the day, I mean, that's why I'm such a big believer. I'm so strong in my faith because for so long I was asking another man, what should I do? Where should I go? Like, you know what I mean? And that's why everything just kept seeming like every time I tried to do something, it became a roadblock. And then, I've always been a fan of poetry, so I used to ride around at night by myself at the end of a long day, thinking to myself, writing lyrics. And gentlemen approached me and asked me to hear my music, and so I spit for them a cappella, and then after that, it was like, we reached the studio. But everything happened so fast, and I didn't even get a chance to really, like, a lot of people don't know this, but my first album I released is called Eula. Evolution and Law of Attraction. Eula was my grandmother I lost to COVID. So I was grieving over her when I was making this music. There's a song there called Respawn that I made specifically for her. And the day I went to record that, I left from running my small shop, went to the studio, I cried for about 20 minutes, got on the microphone, knocked out one take, 30 minutes.
That album is full of emotion. Probably my favorite song on that is the one, Emotional. Got me so I slap that all the time. Got me so emotional. My boy stuff is good to clean. Put your heart into it.
Yeah, man. And so everything was going good, but then I started dealing with the snakes, and then you know what I mean. What comes in the industry, you know what I mean. And then at the same time, I had a third daughter on the way. So midlife crisis kind of set in. I'm like, I haven't reached my dream. My basketball dream got snatched from me. I thought I was going to do this in music. It seems like everybody's playing with my dream and my goals, telling me what I want to hear, and now it's real. And then my businesses are going to shit. And then because everything was moving so fast and hectic, like my relationship was getting rocky because, for my wife, it was like, I know you as the businessman. You used to be the street hustler who, you did your time, you came home. Like when I came home out of Twin Towers from jail, well, not Twin Towers, Supermax in LA, then they drove me to Twin Towers. I left the courthouse in Burbank, hopped on a plane. The next morning I was in classes here at college, going to get my degree. You know what I'm saying? So like for music, for me to be doing music, she was like, what is this? What's this about? You know, so that and everything with the baby, like I said, so I really got depressed, bro, and I was stuck in the house. Like when I say stuck in the house, y'all didn't hear from me, see me because I was in my bed. I didn't want to be outside. I didn't listen to music. I didn't write no lyrics. I couldn't watch basketball. Like I love it. Any movie y'all done seen on Netflix and Hulu, I've seen it twice. I bet you. You know what I mean? Like it was that bad where I was just sitting, you know what I mean? And my wife was like, you need to talk to somebody. And you know, being a young black male, you know, with the way we were raised, it was always like you said. That's why I'm sitting back and I'm not really talking. It's not that I'm not listening, not like that. Like I'm really, because it's like, you know, I'm a respectful person. Yeah. I want to hear what everybody else got to say, and then I'm gonna give my opinion and touch on. What's taking you so long?
Hey, man, my boy, a little late, man. He told me already. My boy Mike right here, man. AKA Black Phoenix, man, in the building. You know, they gonna join us for the last, you know, the last 15 minutes or so on the show, man. I appreciate my boy just, you know, having a little bit of time to come through. I know you're dummy busy on the work grind, man, out there grinding, man. He can still talk though.
But no, like I said, you know, I was depressed, and then, you know, I was like, you know what? For my daughter's sake, I got to do something. Yeah. This is not right for them. Like, Daddy, come watch movies with me. Daddy, go play with me. I don't feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't even want to eat, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I was like, this is not fair to them. You know, and whatever I'm going through, it's, at the end of the day, I'm a grown man. I take accountability. It's my fault. I put myself in this position. And I've always been a man like that. You know what I mean? From relationship issues to going to jail to getting in fights in the street, I put myself in that position, in that predicament.
I know it just be hard though when you have those expectations of things that you pretty much like. That is the landslide. Nothing's a slam dunk until the slam dunk thing there, right?
Exactly.
But when you so close to where you can taste something and have so much riding on it, and then have it just taken away from you, especially from I would say even worse, probably even for us as men, because we men. So I think we take it even like more like inside of there. So I definitely can hear what you were saying, but being able to pull out of that, because I know at first, brother, it had to be like, no, it's one thing, it's two things, all this at one time.
It was, bro, but you know what? I like one thing that you were talking on earlier, and I was like, you know, I didn't want to intervene or overspeak on you, but you know when you were talking about keep people around you, you know what I mean, that are like-minded, that's very true. But you still need those people around you that are not like-minded. You know why? Because those haters are gonna keep it real with you.
And those are the ones that tell you exactly how to.
Those are the ones that motivate me. You know why? Because I'm a perfectionist. So if you got something to critique about it, thank you. Now I'm gonna go fix that. Let me see what else you got to say. You still got something good? I'm gonna go fix that. You see what I'm saying? All you're doing is you're making me better. I'm gonna become more of a star because of your criticism and your hate. You see what I'm saying? So with that being said, it was very hard for me to take the criticism that I had mental health problems. But I finally called my doctor. You know what I mean? I went and talked with her, had a little therapy session. I'm not gonna lie, I had to take some Zoloft, and when I took it, like, I was like, okay, I can get back outside now. Now I'm spending time with my kids again. Now I'm getting out running my businesses again. And then I was like, you know what? Let me give music a try. Only because everybody keeps asking me, when is the next project? No lie, I run a business, a dealership. The gentleman who works at CarMax gave me $1,000 cash. Don't want nothing in return. All he wants me to do is make another album. This is a man I go to that on a business aspect, you know what I mean? When it comes to, you know, my cars and stuff like that. He runs a CarMax and Rock gave me $1,000 and said, go do your music. I need another hit album. So that right there was like, okay, I mean, if I got a buddy of mine who I deal with business who's willing to invest in me, just imagine if I do put it, how many other people out there are willing to invest. You know what I mean? So, man, I'm already investing in myself, and somebody, okay, so now I'm on the right path. Okay, so nothing, so even with my relationship issues, my issues with family, I'm like, that's not going to stop me. I don't care. You know what I mean? So I'm booked on Wednesday to perform May 15th in LA. I got to go to May 18th to New Mexico. When I come back, I'm going to May 31st. I open up for San Queen. I double back, come back, go to LA. I got another showcase. I got an interview and a podcast to be on Roku TV. I got a single with Mr. Fab coming out. I'm about to do a Spanish collaboration out. I got a weed strain coming. I got my own shoe coming out. You know what I mean? So it's a lot for to come out, and you know, I ain't gonna lie to you. The reason why I got so much love for you, big brother, is because when I was going through that, you did reach out to me. And, you know, and I think that's why God, you know, I'm a big believer in science, and like I said, my faith and my favorite story. I don't mean to take over too much, but is the Prophet Yusuf. And one thing that happened to Prophet Yusuf was he was in prison, but that was not the worst part of his life. The worst part of his life was he imprisoned himself because he went to another man opposed to going to God who created you and gave you everything for the answers of how to be free. So he imprisoned himself. So that's what I felt that year. I imprisoned myself going to look for man to help me get to what God's already created and already wrote out for me. That part.
I got my man Black Phoenix in here, man. Came a little late. One thing we actually started the podcast with, we talked about life. Like, what is something that you learned about situations, whether it be relationships, friendships, careers, about life in general? What was something that you learned over your years here that you might not have realized 15 years ago, 20 years ago, that the more mature, more seasoned you knows now about life and experience in general? I think what I shared was like wasting a lot of time trying to change people's mindsets and not knowing when it's time to kind of like get off of that and let them be them. I spent a lot of time trying, man, I want you, you don't understand it. Man, I'm trying to get you to see this. And I think I wasted a lot of time with that. So now, you know, I tell people my drama bank and my bank is trying to get people to see things my way. I don't got a lot of money in that bank no more, so I spend a lot less doing that. You kind of get it, you don't. I put a little bit into it, but then I back off. That's kind of what I've learned in my time. So I'm more efficient with my time, and I'm actually talking to and preaching to the people that their mind's really open to be able to receive it. It's like an airdrop. Turn an iPhone on, to get the airdrop, they got to be actually open and receptive to what I'm trying to give to them. That's what I've learned over time. What about you, man? When you attest to what have you learned now that the younger you, maybe a 20-year-old you, didn't realize about life?
We're going to wait on you. You're going.
Man, you got some stuff.
Scoot on up here on the microphone.
You got some stuff. We didn't talk for about an hour. We're going to give you a few minutes to
so get it out, brother. It's hot.
Let me see. The smallest thing I could think of without telling too much. Because we ain't got that much time.
We got a few minutes. Good.
You got to excuse the sweat, brother.
He my guy, man. Run over a little bit.
So take that off. It's not sunny in here.
Man, Ferrero home out there in the heat. Man.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sure.
But yeah, the main lesson I've been, because most of the time when I was younger, I was focusing like on the streets and girls.
Yeah. So, I mean, for sure, yeah.
I think all of us can relate. So I learned a lot about women. Like back in the day, we used to be like, man, you don't spend $1 on the chick, or you don't spend anything on the chick.
Yeah.
You know, we just take them out and you just do whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to think,
Yeah, I know. I know what I'm saying. No, yeah.
Just like,
what I was saying, we know what's up.
Rough stuff.
Yeah.
And, we just pleasured ourselves.
Right.
There's a lot more to it.
Yeah.
When it comes to women. You gotta finesse them, love them, care for them, to get the right one.
Right one though, that's the key though, right?
The right one.
So,
and then at the same time, I learned about, men got like two different categories. Either you know she's the one, or she just whatever.
Okay.
So that's basically like how my mind frame is. It's like, okay, I was like, oh, she could be the one. I'm vetting you. I'm doing whatever.
Yeah.
And then I give you a chance. And if you do something wrong, I'm like, okay, wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, you starting to go on the other side to where we just cool.
Right.
So, like when I was younger, I always used to be like flowers and all that extra stuff,
Yeah.
And I used to be like, playing around or whatever. I kept it real though.
Yeah.
I never whenever I talk to a girl, I kept it real. Like, hey, I don't want a relationship. So
just letting you know.
Yeah.
So
I always kept it real. That's you a real player or whatever. If you can't keep it real, then you ain't no player. You gotta lie.
Because at the same time, you're not keeping it real with yourself.
Yeah.
Real fast, before you skate past that, question for you. Don't y'all find it funny that all the people that still lying in 2024 when you can Google and research all this? I be hearing this. I'm like, she can go find you on social media and Google all that, right?
I would keep it real now in 2024, man. You can't, the lies, they come out.
Yeah, they come out thicker, bro.
You make yourself be more like a fool.
Well, being fake is popular, though. That's how it is right now. That's how I feel it is. Being fake is popular.
Brother Street Knowledge said it best.
Fake
niggas is winning now. Ain't that about it?
But see, I think that to that point, I think
for me, I think I wasted a lot of time doing that, right? And then when you got hit with the responsibilities of a relationship, you're kind of like, wait, am I not doing this good enough? Like, am I not perfect? You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that's what helped me, because I was active.
Yeah, I was focused more on the girls in the books, and that's
That's right.
regret. I should have been focused on the books.
Yeah, and I think that's what, and in the long run, now that I'm in my 40s, I look back, bro, I realized how much I missed.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt.
Because once my marriage ended, bro, there was a period of time where you're like, okay, well, what now?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I've been at the what now, man.
You know?
What now?
So it's like,
And that's when you get to spin it, right? So the worst thing is an out of mind. You know what I mean? So now you have nothing but time to think. So you get to spin. I got to do this. I got to do that. You know what I mean?
And then
people
everything
you on
hits
drugs, and you're like, I got on drugs.
everything hits you at once, right? And I've always told my kids, and I told Jessica, my stepdaughters all the time, nothing hits harder than life. Nothing hits harder than life, bro. And I think that what sucks is, as men, we're portrayed to be strong, a leader, a provider, a protector. But what happens to the moment when we have that moment of weakness? Like when we're out there, working all day in the sun, right? Like
my man, all day out there delivering that.
Oh, yeah.
What you 10 hours a day, 12 hours?
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
You ever get that sense of feeling like, is this acknowledged?
Well, yeah, because in my belief, I don't like betting or opening up to a woman, because that same thing, like leader, provider.
Yeah.
But if I gotta open up, I open up to the woman.
Here's the thing, right? I was gonna ask you. Let's see this. I was gonna ask him, how truthful are we to our friends when our friends ask us, how are you doing?
Everybody say, a lot of times
We
say,
can't
we
be
okay,
truthful.
we're cool, we good.
Why is that?
Because I'm gonna look weak if I really tell you what's going
Exactly.
on.
Right?
But see, that's the thing, how you should be thinking with women.
No.
That's the thing.
No, I'm not thinking. I'm saying that's today's time. You heard my song "Emotional," right?
Yes.
And like I said, I'm trying to tell you, I said it on there. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta bottle it all in. I can't let the streets tell. Why?
You talking about the street? Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
general,
if the streets know, first off, and this is why I say that, because if you know I got relationship problems, a lot of these niggas ain't loyal like that.
No, and
So if I tell you the truth about what I'm really dealing with, you gonna be like, I got you, bro, I got you. Be right there on Instagram, like, man, I heard y'all going through it. You all right, shorty? Like, you need somebody to talk.
Exactly.
You feel what I'm talking about?
I'll be real. I didn't been a victim of that.
I've been a victim of that.
Everybody was cool.
Hey, I've been a victim of that.
I had somebody telling me, well,
I've been a victim of that, bro.
Who was sending me pictures of their check stubs and all this stuff. I was like, what?
Well, that's the type of thing I need. But like my brother was trying to tell some stuff on my ex, and I'm like, bro, I got them both in the room, and I put his mind in check. Like there's certain stuff you can't trust people with, but at the same time, if I was gonna open up, I'd rather open up to a guy.
So why would you pick the guy versus the girl that you might be in a relationship with that knows you really well, someone you're gonna build with? Why wouldn't you really feel comfortable being able to open up to her, someone that you might be sharing a house with, responsibilities? She's the one that's right there kind of in the trenches of life deeply with you, right?
It depends on the circumstance.
Okay.
Like my mom dying or something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. So certain things you feel.
But like if I'm having a hard day at work,
you can't tell the girl, you don't know that.
I'm not gonna be like, oh man, my job, this dude hit me at work and I'm not gonna sit there because it just sounds like I'm whining and complaining. And
that's that stigma though. That's talking about though.
And it's understandable.
And I feel you though.
And I get his perspective. I really do.
I got it too. I know.
Some girls gonna be like, well, you keep crying to me about work. It's so unattractive.
That happened to me before. That happened to me.
What I keep hearing y'all say though, no disrespect, big homies, but I keep hearing y'all say my girl. That's the problem. You can't go to your girl.
Yeah.
Your wife, that's a different scenario. Why? When y'all got children, y'all like my situation. We got kids, we got businesses. Yeah, she might get mad sometimes, get emotional, but I know at the end of the day, if I got a real situation, a real issue, I know I can call my wife, the mother of my children, who been holding me up. But listen, hold on. No, I gotta say this though. But I'm also a Muslim man. I have a Muslim wife. That's the difference. It's not no American woman that's running around here fast in the pants, hella thirsty. Mine come from morals and values. She from Saudi Arabia.
And you know what?
You see what I'm saying?
You know what? That might be different too.
And then,
you know what? That's what I said. Let me get it on.